I'd like to welcome everybody to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show, episode number 20. It's Monday night, guys, October the 12th, 2020. And we have got a lot to talk about again tonight. You can visit our website at crawfordcountyghosthunters.org. You can email us at illinoishauntings@gmail.com. Send us an email. If you guys want to get in touch with us by email, just let us know. If you got any places out there you want us to try to investigate, definitely get a hold of us, and we will try to get back with you as soon as possible. You can check out our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters, which I'm sure that's where you're watching from now, but we're also dual streaming right now to YouTube. So if you're out there on YouTube, I apologize. We do not monitor messages from the YouTube channel. So switch over to Facebook if you want to interact with us live on our talk show tonight. Make sure you're on the Facebook platform. You can also check out our Instagram. Go follow us at Crawford County Ghost Hunters on Instagram. We don't post a lot on there, but we're going to start posting more here in the near future. Tonight's show is going to be, we're going to recap a little bit about what we've been doing, what's been going on, what we've been doing the past weekends. We've been going live a couple times, but I'm sure if you guys seen the investigation we done in Robinson, Illinois, that was a really good one. So we're going to go and review some of the stuff we've gotten at our recent investigations that you guys didn't get to see. Also, we're going to talk about, what we done in Effingham, Illinois, and I finally got permission to release that information. So hang on for that. And that's going to be cool. We're going to talk about that tonight also, and some of our events and our tours that we've been having. And guys, we want to thank everybody that has already attended, a lot of our events out there. We had our haunted scavenger hunt, which was really cool, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. We had our regular haunted tours on Halloween this year, and I believe I got a picture of that. Maybe I don't. Sorry, guys. Had a slow start again tonight. I don't know what's going on with this computer and all this stuff, but it seriously will not let me start until 8:30. The show's supposed to start at 8, and I always get started at 8:30, but that's the way it goes. That's how we roll, I guess. But our haunted scavenger hunt, I want to talk about that, to top that off. And we had our regular haunted tours, which we had on a Friday night, and then we had that next Saturday, we had our scavenger hunt. The winner of our haunted scavenger hunt, I'm going to throw that up there real quick, was the Kelsey and Jake Green Tree team. They won the haunted scavenger hunt this year for 2020, and it was a really cool event. We had a lot of people. I think we ended up having 19 teams, something like that. And the 18, 19 teams, I have to go back and look at the list. They ended up winning, I believe, around $180. It was half the cash put in. So Kelsey and Jake Green Tree and their team won the scavenger hunt this year for 2020. I want to congratulate them again. They have also attended several of our tours this year. We've had a lot of people attending our tours. I'm going to try to monitor our Facebook feed here real quick, guys, so I can see what you're saying. Don't know what's going on. I'm not able to see that right now. But we also had a haunted tour in Merrim, Indiana that was really good this year. Our haunted Merrim tour was this last weekend or last Friday, and we had a lot of people sign up for that. I didn't think we were going to have a big crowd for that, but we ended up having a really good crowd for our haunted Merrim, Indiana tour, and I think that was one of our best tours so far this year. I mean, it was very physically demanding. If any of you guys are out there and you were on our haunted Indiana tour, you can probably attest to that, because we did definitely, we had some physical activity going on that tour. We climbed up Mirren Bluff. We went up Man-Turman Cemetery, which is basically a mound for a cemetery over in Indiana. That was one of our stops. But we had a really good time on that tour also. This is a group shot from our Mirren, Indiana tour we done last Friday. We had a really good group of people. Lasted into the night, as always. We go till like around 10 o'clock on that one. And we ended up at a place called Paul Lindsay Island below Mirren Bluff. And we told the story of, Paul Lindsay and what happened there. And it was a really great time. We had some pretty interesting responses on some of our ghost box and ITC sessions that we conducted during the tour. We'd like to thank everybody also who attended that haunted tour. We took a group shot there on the bluff. If you guys haven't seen that on our Facebook page, but that was one of the shots we took there. And if you haven't been to Mirren Bluff, if you haven't been to Mirren, Indiana, I would definitely recommend you go over there and check it out. It's a pretty place, real close to, Crawford County. And it's just a short drive to go see this place. And there's a lot of history and a lot of hauntings in the Mirren, Indiana area. We will be offering haunted Mirren, Indiana tours privately all throughout the year. If you guys get a hold of us, just say, hey, you want a tour of Mirren, Indiana, and we'll give you one and show you all the haunted locations that we took everybody on our haunted Mirren tour of 2020. So definitely get a hold of us if you do want one of those. Here's some more shots from our haunted tour there in Mirren. That's a shot from the Man-Turman Cemetery. A guy actually, started this cemetery and was a guy from William Henry Harrison's army. It was a fellow Kentuckian soldier from his army got in a fight with another guy up on top of this hill and killed him. And it started the Turman Cemetery, which is actually this picture right here with the big rocks out here where we took our group shot. He's buried up on top of this hill. It was a pretty historic location back in the day. They used that area to camp near. William Henry, they came through that area on the Battle of the Tippecanoe. And we'd like to thank everybody who showed up to that tour. I'm trying to get my computer to work here. Sorry, guys. There we go. There's the next picture. That's also located in Mirren, Indiana. That's the conference center, the Mirren Conference Center there, which is also haunted. People report seeing people walk upstairs in the windows at night at that location. We investigated years ago. It's been at least 15 or more years ago we investigated this location, but we went there and told the story and showed the people that location also on our haunted Mirren tour. So if you guys missed out on that tour, like I say, just get a hold of us and we will try to book you a private tour for the Mirren, Indiana area. See if my live feed's up yet. There we go. Now I can see what you guys are saying. Sorry about that, guys. All right, looks like we got a lot of people out there tonight. Looks like we got Luke Massey watching, Mary, Ben Irvin. That's all I'm seeing commenting right now for some odd reason. But one cool thing that I want to touch on involving like our haunted scavenger hunt this year, and this is like a real touching story. And like, this is why we do this stuff, guys. I mean, we like to help people. We like to, to give people something to do around Halloween, like our haunted scavenger hunts, our haunted tours. But I've got a real touching story to share with all you guys. And tonight's show actually is going to be dedicated to this individual. But I'd like to talk about it, we still got a lot of people on here. But on our haunted scavenger hunt in 2018, a group of people came, the Caffins, and I'd just like to talk about that for a minute. They came to our scavenger hunt in 2018, and unfortunately, I'm going to check my message here so I do not pronounce the spelling wrong on here because I want to get this all right. Unfortunately, after the scavenger hunt in 2018, in November, on November 23rd of 2018, James Caffin Jr. passed away. And one of the last things him and his family and his group of friends done was go on our haunted scavenger hunt. They attended our haunted scavenger hunt in 2018. He passed away in November of that year. Well, something really cool took place on our scavenger hunt this year, guys. They returned, his family did, with his ashes. They brought his ashes along to the haunted scavenger hunt. That is his wife, holding the ashes. I mean, this is a real, touching story, guys. I can't, I respect these guys, and they really had a fun time on this year's tour. And we're really glad that they attended and they done this. I mean, it was really cool to see people, attend our events and have a touching story like this, because she's holding his ashes. They took him along to every stop on our scavenger hunt with him, which was pretty cool. So, I mean, we want to dedicate this show to him. I'm going to throw up his name here. So tonight's show is in memory of James Caffin Jr., 8/21/1973 to 11/23/2018. And we do have some pictures I want to put up here real quick of James, he was also known by JD Caffin. Here's a picture of, I believe that's JD there on the left, attending our haunted scavenger hunt in 2018. And they are at Dugan Cemetery, one of our stops there. So just a really cool story, guys. That and like I say, our prayers and thoughts go out to his family. And I hope they had a good time on our scavenger hunt this year. And I'm sure he's truly missed by everyone. And just a touching story, when they showed up and they, brought his ashes and continued the scavenger hunt, guys. So just wanted to tell you guys that and show you, because I mean, it's stuff like that really, keeps us going, keeps us doing these events and everything. We're glad everybody out in the public has a good time on our events, and that, we can help people, bond and unite, because there's nothing to do right now due to COVID-19. I mean, we try to put out these events so you guys can do something. Everything's been canceled. We're trying to keep our events going this year. We're not canceling anything. So, but yeah, we just wanted to put that out there though about JD Caffin, and we thought that was just really cool that they done that. So, but moving on in our show tonight, we're going to talk about some of the places that we've been investigating here lately. And I'm going to pop up some pictures of those so you guys can look at them. Okay, we're going to finally announce, where we were at in Effingham, Illinois here a while back. We got invited to a place called the Effing Brew Company. And that's what I'm going to talk about first here. One of our investigations that we recently conducted. That's over in Effingham, Illinois, right there. We got invited in there. They said they were experiencing some strange things in the basement area, and some of the people had seen things, heard things all throughout the building. So we went over and done a full-scale investigation of the Effing Brew Company in Effingham, Illinois. It's kind of hard to say there. But we were there for, I think we got there at like 6:37, and we left around 4 a.m. And we set up downstairs in the basement and try to do some ITC sessions, some EVP sessions down in the basement, see if we could record any type of intelligent response on our recorders or on our ghost boxes. So we stayed down there all night. We didn't see a whole lot. We did get some interesting responses down in the basement area, but nothing major. One of the main things we got was we were doing a ghost box session. And during that ghost box session, we we ended the Ghost Box session, left a recorder on by accident. It was me and Courtney running it. After we listened to the session, we picked up a woman's voice talking over me and Courtney. So we do think there is an active or intelligent spirit in the building. We just didn't pick up a whole lot of activity, but we are going to do a follow-up investigation at the Effing Brew Company in Effingham, Effingham, Illinois. Sorry. I think I said Indiana there. We do a lot of investigations in Indiana. I'm tired tonight, guys. But the cool thing about this brew company is I've talked to the owner now, and we're going to be able to do a live session in there for our second investigation, which is going to be cool. So you guys are going to get to see that. We're going to go investigate that. Probably, I'm hoping it's sometime this month. If not, it'll be in November. But another cool thing that's happening involving the Effing Brew Company in Effingham, Illinois, is on October 26th, they are doing a podcast. And these guys are starting a podcast, a live talk show. And we're going to be guests on this podcast and live talk show at the Effing Brew Company on October 26th. I believe that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely check that out. They're going to have us as guests on there, and we're going to talk about our investigation that we conducted there and a possible public event that we might be doing at the Effing Brew Company. So check that out, October 26th, 7:30. I will get you more details. We'll put it out on the page as to where you can watch that and how you can access their podcast and their show. But I believe me and Dickerson at least are going to be on their show and podcast, so that's going to be cool. They just started it up, and those guys are into paranormal stuff too, which is pretty neat. They were sitting there. We talked for like an hour with the owner, and I never even thought, he's a bartender there too, and I never even thought about how many people probably come up and tell you haunted and spooky stories, being a bartender or owning a bar. You probably hear all these stories about Effingham County and the county surrounding them. So this guy told us so many places to investigate, told us so many locations. We got leads on like probably 10 or 15 new spots over there. So that's going to be really cool. A couple bridges he told us about, an old house. Just this guy had like an enormous amount of paranormal information. And I think that's what they're going to talk about on their talk show also. Like I say, these guys are into paranormal too, so that's really neat. But let me see here. Luke Massey says, can't wait to join y'all. Yeah, we've had several of our top fans that watch our show every night that watch our live feeds, that watch our talk show. They've been attending our haunted tours this year, and it's really cool to meet all of you and definitely get out there and definitely see you guys in person and meet you guys for real. That's really cool that we're getting to meet a lot of you guys. So we encourage you to come to our live stuff, our real stuff, our events that we have going on, so you guys can talk with us, chat with us, tell us your stories. And again, we appreciate, everybody watching our stuff all the time and getting to meet all you guys. Another investigation I want to talk about that we conducted, I'll throw up a picture of that too and get this off here, was a location in Robinson, Illinois here recently. And if you've seen the live feed on that, that's kind of a blurry picture of the building. I don't know why I didn't take a better picture than that, but that's a blurry picture of the front of what used to be one of the Weber's building there on the square in Robinson, Illinois. We conducted a live paranormal investigation in there just to see if there was any paranormal activity in there. They weren't reporting a lot of paranormal activity here. The opportunity just came up and they contacted us, or they got a hold of us and said, hey, can you check this building out? We want to see if there's anything there. Some new owners, I think, are now in possession of that building. So we were kind of scouting it out to see, is there any paranormal activity in here? Is there not? So we started out, in the first floor and looked around in there. Then we went to the basement area, which is pretty creepy down there. I mean, it's got if you guys watch our live feed, it's called the building on the square, I believe in Robinson, Illinois. You can go back and watch the live feed if you didn't see that one. But just a cool old building. And we couldn't confirm the upstairs, before we started the investigation, we didn't know whether it was an old Oddfellows Lodge or an old Masonic Lodge. We didn't have confirmation of that, but thanks to Jason Dickerson, my co-team leader there, he was up there digging around. If you watch the live feed, he went in. Well, I told him he's going in deep, but he dove into the little box that was up there. I don't even know what this thing was used for. And like, I don't know. I'm a Freemason myself, and there was this box up there with like a little window where you can like open it up, and it was on the ground. But anyway, Dickerson dives into this thing, and he's looking around in there, and he comes out with some documents showing that this place was a Masonic Lodge. And apparently it was Robinson's Masonic Lodge before the lodge, that they have now. So I guess this was a previous location of the Robinson Masonic Lodge, and we didn't know that. So that was cool to find those documents. At least we believe that. I mean, we found documents inside there with old petitions and a transfer of lodge from somebody from like Palestine to Robinson. We found some documents regarding that. We also found an old check in there with the last name, my same last name, Snyder on there, which was really weird, inside this Masonic Lodge. But you guys got to go back and watch that live feed if you didn't see that. But we didn't find a lot in there. We got some interesting responses again on our Ghost Box. But, Ghost Box and ITC research, if you get some intelligent responses on those devices, that doesn't always mean that location is haunted just because we're getting interaction on a Ghost Box or some type of, or a recorder, any type of response or intelligent response. I mean, I truly believe when we start Ghost Box sessions or any type of ITC session where we're trying to communicate with a ghost or spirit, that, anybody could come through. We could get a relative of somebody. We could get one of our relatives. We could get somebody that's standing in there with us. Maybe their relative comes through, or just somebody that was associated with the building back in the day. Just because we get intelligent responses on these devices in some of these places, that doesn't label them as haunted. Because I can go to McDonald's probably on the roof and get intelligent responses, but it's like we're calling them in. Point being, you can get these responses anywhere on Ghost Boxes or on recorders because they're all around us. It seems like when you do this, it's like a telephone to the dead. I turn these devices on, just like you can't hear the radio waves coming through on a radio, but you flip the switch on, then all of a sudden you can hear them. This is the same principle. We're using radio to communicate with ghosts and spirits and the dead, and sometimes they're there, sometimes they aren't, but we did get some interesting things there at the building in Robinson. We may go back, I'm not sure, but it was a cool place. We've also got several other places lined up to investigate that I don't know if we can talk about yet. Another one in Robinson, actually 2 places in Robinson that's going to be really cool. We got locations in Greenup we're going to be investigating soon. I'm just looking at your comments here, guys. Sorry. Mary Stuckey said y'all found some pretty cool paperwork in there. Yeah, we did. Like I say, Dickerson kind of went in deep to find that. And that place is bad upstairs. I mean, there was a lot of bat crap, to put it nicely. We had to wear masks, and I think we were sick I was sick for a day because I went in and looked at the place the night before too with no mask, and then we went back and investigated it the night after and went live. And I was smart enough to wear a mask the second time, and I didn't get as bad, but my allergies went nuts up there. But just a really neat old building. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch that live for sure. But yeah, let's see what else we have to talk about right now. We've also got on the 24th, remember everyone, October 24th, we've got McPike Mansion. So definitely go on to their website and check that out. It is www.mcpikemansion.com, and Sharon will set you guys up for that night. We're going to be there as a host team, or we're going to be helping, kind of co-oping and helping her with this event. This isn't like our event. We're just helping Sharon with this event. So, we're going to have the command trailer set up there. We're going to be running the cameras inside McPike Mansion on October 24th. So that's going to be a real good one. I'm thinking, guys, maybe we'll go live at this one. So I'll ask Sharon, make sure it's all right. But if she doesn't care, we may go live at this event. We don't usually go live at our haunted tours or our events, but I think we're going to try at this one just to show you guys what a cool place this is. If you haven't watched our evidence video from McPike Mansion, it's easier to find it on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look for our evidence video regarding this place. We're going to have it playing probably at the event while we're helping Sharon out there. But we're probably going to run cameras down into the cellar area. Now, the cellar area is extremely active. You know, a lot of people have reported paranormal activity over the years in the cellar area of McPike Mansion. And it's really cool down there. I mean, it's a creepy, typical, you know, haunted looking cellar. I mean, and this house, I mean, this is one of my favorite, like, haunted houses. I mean, probably not in the United States or anywhere. I mean, that's just your typical scary haunted house, you know, looking at this thing. I mean, it looks like something you'd see on a Halloween movie or something. But just a lot of activity been reported over the years, a possible graveyard in the back, which I have not confirmed. You know, I've never seen evidence of it. They claim there is, but definitely go though to McPikeMansion.com and sign up for that event on the 24th. They may be sold out. I don't know. I haven't checked with Sharon in a little while, but we're going to start advertising it too a little bit harder. So if she's not sold out, we can get it sold out. And she's put a lot of money into that house, you know, a lot of money into the McPike Mansion. And it just, I'm glad people do that, because if not, some of these older houses will just be sitting there rotting. That's why we like to raise money for a lot of these locations, you know, like Lawrenceville Masonic Lodge. We donated all that money back to the lodge for upkeep of the lodge, you know, to help put new windows in the place. And we like to see people like do that and restore and keep these old places up, because if not, history is going to be lost. You know, if we don't start saving and quit tearing down all these old buildings, you know, you're not going to have any history. You know, without history, you can't have hauntings. So it's like a lot of these older buildings are just gone now. A lot of the places we started investigating back in the day are gone now. There was a place in Robinson, Illinois, which I've talked about a lot on this show, called the Robinson Spook House, where Dave Lackemeyer originally called us into this place to see what was going on, because he was having strange things going on there. He got hit, you know, and knocked into the kitchen area. He was hearing bangs on the floor. He was going to turn the upstairs of this place into apartment buildings. And he called us in because he was having strange occurrences take place. And we ended up investigating the place probably, I don't know, at least over 60 times. I mean, I had a key to the place, and we also done haunted tours in there for a while. And it was just strange. You know, there'd be some crutches in there that would move around. One night we went in there, the house was locked up completely. We took the padlock off the basement door. The crutches were upstairs previous to us coming in that night. We opened up the basement door with the lock. The crutches are forming an X on the staircase going down to the basement, and they were not in the basement. They were upstairs, and the basement door was padlocked. We were upstairs one night. We came down, and all the kitchen doors, like all the doors in the kitchen, were wide open, and they were not previous to us going up, and no one else was in the house. I mean, this place was on North Jefferson Street in Robinson, Illinois, and that's one of the weirdest places I have ever seen. I've been all over, you know, doing this. It's not just because it's in Crawford County. It is honestly one of the weirdest places I've ever encountered. I heard disembodied voices of a guy saying "go." I mean, it was like "go." I mean, it was like freaky. My buddy that was with me that night, he took off running, and I had my pickup truck parked out there. And instead of him getting in the truck, he decided to run down the road. I ended up picking him up at where the Mexican restaurant's located now, down there, but in that area, close to the pub area. He took off running down the road instead of getting in the truck. So I'd get in my truck and drive beside him, ask him if he wanted a ride, and he jumped in. But I mean, that place was freaky, guys. But back to the point, you know, a lot of these places have been torn down now. That place has been torn down. I kick myself every day for not buying that place, but it was really cool. Yeah, Try to read the comments. Ben Irvin says, remember that house? It was odd to say the least. Diana Dart says, I remember that. But yeah, another cool place that's been torn down was Restitution Church. That was up in Clark County, and it's now been torn down, but we used to do our haunted tours at it. It was called Restitution. The cemetery obviously is still there, but we don't get a lot in the cemetery as much as we did in the church. I mean, at Restitution Church, doors would slam. You would hear knocks on the floor, taps on the window, screams. We heard all kinds of stuff. I mean, we tried to debunk this stuff too. We thought maybe the screams a couple nights were due to foxes or owls, or something like that outside. We went outside, we couldn't find anything, and it would just happen again. I mean, it was just a weird place, but unfortunately, it's been torn down also because kids started going in there without permission, broke the windows out. And you know what happens once the windows get broke out? All the rain comes in, the roof goes bad, everything, guys. And then it got to the point to where it was so bad they had to tear the place down. But that's why we don't like either, guys. Like if you do go out and explore, if you go out and do like urban exploration or paranormal exploration where you're going out and finding, old houses or old buildings, stuff like that, be respectful out there, guys. Don't break the windows out. Get permission to go in and don't punch holes in the walls. And that's how these places get bad. There'll be an abandoned house that's haunted, and people will just tear it up even worse than what it is. And then it has to be torn down, unfortunately. But there's been so many places torn down that we've investigated. It's crazy. There was an old South Bend church south of Oblong that was haunted, and they had to eventually tear it down. A lot of these churches, though, have to be torn down when they're no longer used as churches, I found out, which is really weird because I've seen some beautiful churches be torn down because the church, quit operating. And I guess it's in some of the church documents or doctrines and stuff that if it's not going to be used as a church or that specific, religion or whatever it may be, they have to tear it down and they can't be used for something else. Like people can't even buy it and use it for a house or a city hall or anything. It has to be torn down, which is crazy. And I've seen a lot of churches torn down because of that. And trying to answer some of your questions here. But anyway, guys, we got a lot coming up for Halloween. We've still got another announcement I want to make. Try to monitor the live feed and talk at the same time here. It's hard for me to do. But no, anyway, we've got a lot going on for Halloween. And we also want to just put this out here again. Any of our events still open. If you guys eat at Monocle's Pizza in Robinson, Illinois, and bring us your receipt when you come to our event, we are going to draw on Halloween night or the show closest to Halloween or after Halloween it would be. And we're going to draw the winner for another prize from Monocle's Pizza in Robinson, Illinois. So don't forget that, guys. Just eat at Monocle's, bring us your receipt, and you'll be entered into another drawing for that. They sponsored our haunted scavenger hunt this year, and we still want to thank them for doing that. They sponsored a second prize for our scavenger hunt and our like I say, this receipt deal for eating there before any event that we have. So check out Monocle's Pizza in Robinson, Illinois, and bring us your receipt. See what else I got on my list here of things to announce. Our Pine Lawn event, Pine Lawn Manor in Sumner, Illinois, the 16th to 17th, which is this coming weekend. Then the 30th and the 31st is almost sold out. So if you're just hearing this now for the first time, you're way late on your news, and I apologize, but we are doing the public event on the 16th and 17th, and then the 30th and 31st, and we only have tickets left, a few tickets left for the 30th of October. That's all we got, guys. 16th and 17th is completely sold out for Pine Lawn Manor if you want to get in there. And Halloween night, I believe, is sold out. So get with us quick. I mean, seriously, message us as soon as possible if you're interested in a spot on our Pine Lawn Manor tour in Sumner, Illinois, because we've only got the 30th left. We've got just a few for the 30th. So check that out. And we're going to probably be doing, like I say, we're going to be doing private tours throughout the year. And I don't think people realize that we do that. If you contact us, we'll do haunted private tours all year round, where we can give you a private tour of Pylon Manor, or a private tour of the Masonic Lodge, or Crawford County private tours, if you want to just go around to this area. We're also going to offer what we call the Elizabeth Betsy Reed tour, where we hit all the locations associated with Elizabeth Betsy Reed and her hanging and her hauntings, and the locations that her body possibly went after the hanging. And so, don't forget that, guys. Even if you miss out on our events, one of our events that you thought was really cool and you didn't get a chance to go, get a hold of us. We'll do private stuff. We're actually doing a private tour on the 23rd for a group of people. So get with us and we'll do that for you. But yeah, that event's sold out, the public, other than the 30th. So there's our phone number on the bottom there too. Guys, call us if you want. It's 1-312-572-9811. If you get the answering machine or the voice message, I guess you could call it, you could leave us a message. We'll get back with you as soon as possible. Please tell us how many you want. And obviously it can only be the 30th right now. And your last name. A lot of people are messaging us, just say they want, 6 tickets on the 30th. They don't tell us their name, or they'll tell us they want 6 tickets. They don't tell us what day they're wanting. And then we have to call them back and figure out what's going on. But make sure you give us all the information we need regarding what day, your last name, and how many you've got. We're getting some. Oh, Luke said we were getting some strange stuff related to Betsy on Saturday. So yeah, we did our last. Luke Massey's talking in the comments here. We did our last Masonic Lodge tour of the year. Well, I think we may be doing another one in November. I got to talk to Bob if we have time. On the 10th, and Luke was there. We got some strange things, in there regarding Betsy Reed. And one of the strange things that we've learned since our documentary, The Hanging of Betsy Reed, a ghost story, which was produced and done by Joe Turi. We helped with that and everything. And I wish we would have known all that before, but the Masonic Lodge does have connections to Elizabeth Betsy Reed. Supposedly, after her hanging, she was brought there, and according to the documents, according to what they're telling me, rope still around the neck. They brought her into the front doors of the Edward Dobbins Masonic Lodge, which back then I believe would have been a church or mortuary. I believe it was a church. Yeah, it would have been a church back then, before it was the lodge. They brought her into the front doors, and they were going to have a service for her there, and they didn't want anything to do with her. So they told them to get her body out of there. And where she was taken from there, we don't know. But according to them, there's documentation that happened. So another twist in the Elizabeth Betsy Reed story. Where'd she go after she was hung? Did they bury her underneath the gallows? Did she go to the Masonic Lodge? Did she go to the Lawrenceville Cemetery in a shallow grave and then dug up and went to the Baker Cemetery late at night? That's the big mystery. And we're gonna do Elizabeth Betsy Reed tours where we take you to all these spots too. So get a hold of us if you guys want to schedule one of those. We'll show you all the locations, that we went to in the documentary. And if you haven't seen that yet, again, that's The Hanging of Betsy Reed, a ghost story on Amazon Prime. I don't know if I've got an advertisement for that or not. I don't think I do. Probably deleted it. But yeah, definitely check that out. You can get on Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, I believe it's free. If you're not an Amazon Prime member, I think it's $3 to buy that. But I think a lot of you have already watched it or seen it out there. It's like we got a lot of people watching tonight. Carly Dickerson, Ben. If you guys have any questions, throw them out there too. Trying to get back through the comments. Oh, I missed that comment about Diana Dart says there's a modular house there now. Have often wondered if there was any more activity after it was torn down. she's talking about the Robinson Spook House area again, guys. And there's a modular home setting there now where the Spook House used to be located. And to my knowledge, I have not heard of anything happening at that house. I can't believe it's not, because I think some of it is almost associated with the land right there. And just not even a quarter of a mile on the other side, maybe a quarter of a mile, there's a cemetery that sits underneath a house where it was the old Robinson Cemetery. And I think the Lagos is how you pronounce that, was the last known name that they knew was in that cemetery, but they tore down the stones and put a house on top of the cemetery, and I believe left the bodies there. That's closer to Cherry Street and over there. So a lot of weird stuff in that specific area of Robinson going on. I've also been told the library area, a member of the Archaeological Society told me that the Robinson Library sits on what they believe to be a step mound, or some type of Native American mound, they think. They don't have confirmation of that, but so that whole area on North Jefferson Street through there has got some strange happenings. We were also there's a house straight across from what used to sit on the Spook House there on North Jefferson. It's got two pillars where a little girl's been seen in there. We've been in there and found some stuff. Then on the south side of where the house used to sit, across from the phone building, there was a story of a girl who went nuts and started stabbing the ceiling because she was interacting with what she believed to be a ghost or spirit in the upstairs rooms. And she eventually ended up in a mental institution because she was seeing these things and stabbing the ceiling, going nuts over what she was seeing. So, I mean, that whole area is just really weird. Getting back into the Spook House. But yeah, do you guys have any questions out there? We're going to kind of talk about some topics tonight with the time we got left, since we're getting close to Halloween. We're going to kind of talk about other things. We want your responses, out there on this, and what you guys believe regarding this type of stuff. We get reports of all types of strange phenomena over the years, everything from Bigfoot to UFOs to gnomes. Yeah, I do say gnomes. Like, people have reported that to us. Do I believe in that type of stuff? Probably not. But we do get reports of gnomes and fairies and all kinds of strange things. While we're on in the October spooky season here, we want to kind of open up the discussion, see what you guys think about the belief in. Do you guys think things like vampires exist, or werewolves? We see a lot of places, especially on these pages, these paranormal pages that post, reports where people can get on and log their own accounts of events and things that happened to them. One of them back in the day was called Shadowlands. Well, there's a lot of reports, like from the Casbah and Ramsey Cemetery, Effingham area, of a werewolf-like creature that inhabits that cemetery. There's also been reports of a cloaked figure with, red glowing eyes out there. Do you guys believe in that stuff? Do you believe in things other than ghosts and spirits? Do you believe that, there could be some type of werewolf or even dogman? Skinwalkers, real popular right now, the Native American stuff. So, I mean, I want to see you guys' response out there on the on the live feed here. So Tiffany says, I want to believe those are real. I don't know if I want to believe they're real. I like to camp. I don't know if I want to go in the woods if I figure out Dogman's real. That'll probably end my camping career, guys. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like Luke's saying, I believe ghosts. Aliens, Bigfoot. He's saying Bigfoot, no. But the cryptid stuff, I believe in some of the cryptid stuff. There could be reports of animal-like creatures that we just haven't discovered. And we're going to do a whole show on Bigfoot and Sasquatch in the near future, too, and have some Bigfoot guys on here as guests. So you guys will want to check that out, too. But I'm reading your comments. How many times I have to tell you vampire? Jen says vampires are real. How many times does she have to tell me? I just haven't seen a vampire yet, Jen. Sorry. I guess I'm going to have to open some coffins up and look inside. But Dale, you're saying yes, thought I saw one once. Are you talking Bigfoot? What are you talking, Dale? And Dale, how did didn't you recently go somewhere where there was some cryptid or skinwalker stuff going on? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought you were going up somewhere north to somebody's ranch and going out looking for that stuff, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But Luke says I watched a show talking about ghost house, like a house appearing in a spot and then it's gone. Oh yeah, now that is a strange phenomenon all of its own. The disappearing houses, and that is really weird because there's a lot of cemeteries and a lot of active locations that report disappearing houses. I know I'm getting off subject to what I asked a minute ago about the vampires and werewolf stuff, but this is also a strange phenomenon. There was a location, Bachelor's Grove has reported a disappearing house over the years. People see a farmhouse there, they go and it's not there. Williamsburg Hill area, up in Tower Hill, there's been reports of a disappearing house out in that area. When I was investigating Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, over in that area, like the old mill at Pigeon Forge, they were reporting and told me, one of the local tour guides told me that there had been a report of a disappearing house in the Smoky Mountains that people had actually gotten a picture of. And it was I don't know if it was in the local newspaper, they said. It made some type of magazine. But these two tourists in the Smoky Mountains took a picture up on a hill of this old house. Come to find out, that house isn't there. They could never find the house. The house could never be found again. But multiple people, I guess, have taken a picture of this house and then it's gone again. But the house doesn't physically exist in that location. So that's a strange phenomenon all of its own. That could be some type of dimensional overlap or dimensional leak to where, you're seeing a break in the fabric of time and you're seeing into the past or into the future even. Maybe there was a house that sat there in the past and there's some type of portal or dimensional opening and you're able to see this house for a while or even photograph it, but it's not physically there in our realm or dimension. So, those are strange things too that people experience. There's a lot of stuff out there other than ghosts and spirits that people are seeing. I guess you can almost call that the ghost of a house, but a house doesn't have a soul or spirit or life force, so you can't really call it a ghost. I guess it would be just an event replaying a time event, like some type of paranormal time warp. And then Ben's talking about ships, cars, and trains. Yeah, people will see ships, appearing and reappearing out on the ocean, like ghost ships, I guess you can call them. Cars and trains. Yeah, people have been followed by phantom cars. That's a strange phenomenon people report to us a lot. They'll go to these locations. Again, Bachelor's Grove, Williamsburg Hills, another place. There's a lot of places where people have been reported, even Hell's Gate over in Brazil, Indiana. People have reported being chased by a phantom car, and then the car disappears. They'll see headlights in the mirror. They'll look behind them. It's just gone. Are they turning out their lights? Is it real people just messing with people and they're turning out their lights? Probably. I'd say that's where a lot of the reports come from. I look at logical and scientific explanations before I say these are disappearing cars. But I'm sure a lot of people get messed with and people get chased. And like I say, they'll turn the lights out and go down a side road and mess with people. But there's been a lot of people claim they see these things disappear at close range, or a car will be coming at them and it disappears right before it gets to them. I don't know about all that. I've never seen anything like that. I have to see stuff to believe it. And I don't know. I would definitely investigate, reports of that, if there was more in this area, but, we just don't get a lot of reports of that type of stuff. Randy Liebeck. Hey, Randy, good to see you on here tonight. Says some researchers, including John Keel, suspect that ghosts, certain cryptoids like Mothman, fairies, etc., are manifestations of the same overall phenomena that tailors its appearance to the cultural expectations of the witness. Yeah, and that's weird. What causes people to see these things? Is it their own belief? Is it their own environmental factors? Is it the way they were brought up? Like they believe in these things, does that play an important part in the human mind? The psychology of the human mind can do a lot of, the mind can do a lot of weird stuff. If people actually believe in this stuff, do they make this stuff manifest on their own? Are they just producing this stuff? Like leprechauns, reports of leprechauns, gnomes, fairies, all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all that stuff. Like I say, I have to see stuff to believe it, and there's some stuff that's just out there that I'm not saying I wouldn't investigate it. We have investigated claims of gnomes. We've had a couple reports of gnomes over by Palestine where people have seen little people and they disappear. I mean, this guy was a straight shooter who told me this too. I mean, he said, I know this guy, and he would not lie about any of this stuff. He swears when he was deer hunting over by Palestine along the river, he saw a little guy. I guess you could call it a gnome, an elf. He didn't know what to call it. He didn't describe it as a leprechaun. He described it as more of like a little person, and he went running through the woods and he lost sight of him. And he said, this wasn't, we're not talking like a midget here. We're talking a little person, like a tiny person, he said. So, something that's not normal. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to the possibility, I guess, of anything, but you have to prove it to me, and I've got to see this stuff. But Luke says that's a midget. I'm sorry. Let's try not to be offensive out there. I have that problem, Luke. But yeah, little people. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of strange things. But the whole the story of Casbar and Ramsey Cemetery, people seeing the werewolf, where the people just drunk, were they kids out, doing drugs and stuff, that see these things, a lot of these urban legends in these places have reports like that. And it's just like, I don't know. We've never encountered anything like that or seen anything like that or photographed anything like that. I mean, we put out trail cams, we put out video cameras, and never once have I captured a werewolf or a black cloaked figure with red glowing eyes on my trail cam. So it's like, until I see something like that, I probably don't, completely believe in it, but I'm open to the possibility, of, investigating claims like that just to debunk it and find a natural explanation for what these people are seeing and why they are seeing this. That's why we do this stuff too. It's like, why are these people seeing this stuff? And kind of going back to what Randy was saying, it's like, is it the psychological mindset of that individual? That's what you got to look at a lot too, and I hate to say this, but, are they on any medications that can cause hallucinations? There's a lot of antidepressants. There's a lot of, medications out there that can cause hallucinations and people to see things that aren't there too. So we like to debunk, everything possible and come up with a natural explanation before we say that, this is out there. But the whole vampire thing too, I mean, that has like a cult-like following. There are people that truly believe vampires exist. With the Halloween season among us and everything, that there are cults out there that drink blood. I mean, there are people that actually drink human blood still to this day, and they feel like it gives them an energy source, that they have to have it. And it's a vampire like, I don't know, cult that is going around. And like, we had one, this has been years ago. We kind of investigated them. We had a vampire-like cult in the Crawford County area that was doing things like that. They were going out. They were doing strange things at night. They were wearing black. They were wearing capes. They were saying they were vampires, all this stuff. We looked into them. We were watching what they were doing. We've investigated a lot of cult-like activity, over the years too, like that. And people just claim that that stuff's real, but again, we found no proof of the vampires and everything. But Cindy says, I'm trying to drink real blood, nasty. Some medicines can really affect your mind, Jennifer said. Yeah, I know. And Jennifer, that's actually one of our questions when we investigate a location. we don't have, you don't have to tell us, obviously, due to HIPAA and all that. We don't want to violate anybody's privacy or anything, but what medications you're on plays a big role in, possibly you having a hallucination and seeing a ghost, a spirit, a fairy, a gnome, a little person. People unfortunately do hallucinate and have these and see these things. So, we try to debunk and look at all that stuff, to make sure, that that's not a cause for what they've been seeing and hearing. And sometimes it has been, a lot of times it has been, unfortunately. When we investigated a location in Robinson, where an elderly female subject was seeing and hearing ghosts all the time, seeing and hearing these things inside her house. And we went in and, unfortunately, we believe it was due to dementia and her having just a mental illness due to age. And sadly that happens. And sadly the families, they don't want to put the elderly in nursing homes. They don't want to admit something's wrong. Your mom, when she starts to, hallucinate or not act right, they don't want to admit that, there's a problem and, that they need to get them somewhere. And sometimes they've called us thinking, we're the kind of last hope that we can verify that this is actual real things that they're seeing and hearing. And it's not, unfortunately, they're just, unfortunately, having a condition. Like I say, no disrespect toward anyone out there. I had family members with dementia myself. And, I've been through all that and seen that. That's why I can help somebody when I get in that type of situation. I've had close family members pass away from dementia. So, when we go to houses and I see the elderly seeing and hearing things like that, they're wanting to say it's a ghost, you have to look at the natural, more, medical explanation for that. And unfortunately, but Amy is saying, did I miss the part where you were talking about the Effingham Brew Company? I worked there last summer. The basement, no thanks, creepy. I refuse to go down there alone. Bad energy. Okay, Amy, that's cool. Yeah, you did miss where we're talking about the Effingham Brew Company in Effingham. Hopefully, we're going to do, like I say, a second live investigation from the Effingham Brew Company in Effingham. And yeah, the basement area is where everybody was reporting activity, Amy. What did you see or hear down there? Did it just give you a creepy feeling? I hope you're still on here, Amy, but it's kind of got some lag, I think, in it. So I answer these questions, and people are probably off here by the time I answer them. But yeah, that place is pretty cool. I mean, the basement area did have a weird feeling, and even Dickerson, I don't know where he's at tonight. I was going to have him co-host and talk about it, but Dickerson had a strange feeling down in the basement area. And he didn't even like going down there. I mean, he said that's one of the first places one of the only places that's creeped him out in a long time was that effing brew company down in the basement. There was some strange feelings down there. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I went down there. He didn't even want to go down at the end to get the cameras up out there. So I went down there by myself, pulled all the cameras out of the basement, and brought all the cable and stuff up. And Dickerson was still upstairs putting stuff in boxes. I think he was doing that on purpose, but I don't have him on here to argue with me and tell me that, no, you're I'm blowing. But yeah, he really was freaked out over the basement, guys. Dickerson was. So I don't know if he'll admit that publicly, but I just did for him. Tammy Joe said, yeah. Oh, Amy said, yeah, hair standing straight up, nausea, sounds, banging, saw a black orb in the back of the bar. Okay, now, yeah, I forgot about that. That was they said a lot of people reported there was a black orb. People would see this black orb fly through, and that was upstairs and downstairs. People reported seeing that. Not usually, not very often do we have reports of black orbs. And again, orbs, I don't like that term. The whole orb term has been blown out of proportion over the years because of photography and everything. Everybody thinks an orb is a ghost or spirit when it's just a dust particle. I mean, all orbs are dust particles. They are suspended particles in the atmosphere that your camera flash bounces off of when you take a picture And since they're so close to the camera lens, they reflect back and they cause, the spots that everybody calls spirit orbs. Those orbs are not, paranormal. They're not ghosts or spirits. We don't really endorse the belief in orbs as being ghosts and spirits. If we find a ball of light that we can't explain, a self-illuminating ball of light we can't explain, then we'll say that's some type of self-illuminating light. Is it a ghost? I don't know. It could be some type of weather phenomena causing the incident. Like ball lightning is barely studied even today. Ball lightning can occur. It could be some kind of atmospheric condition or weather phenomena that we just do not know. We haven't, figured out yet. I mean, I don't know that it's a ghost or spirit that people are seeing when they see these illuminating balls of light. It could be gas. There's stuff called like swamp gas, or where logs glow, or where people see this stuff. Oil wells sometimes cause them and emit gases and glowing balls of light that people will see. I personally seen a glowing log in the woods. I mean, it's gases that they give off. We went out there, it was green glow. I mean, you would have thought this was like an opening to a portal. I mean, this log was just like illuminating like a green, eerie glow in the woods. I went over to it, and it was the gases that it was giving off. I mean, very rarely do you see that. Sometimes they call it swamp gas. But it's from decayed wood and deteriorating wood and stuff like that. But the balls of light, or what's weird about the Effingham Brewery, going back to that, they're reporting black orbs or black balls flying through the air. Anyway, I don't know. I better stop there. But I don't know what these things are. They're seeing these black orbs. I better say black orbs. Going through the air. Anyway, I'm cracking myself up here tonight. And I don't know what they are. Maybe somebody caught a fly out of the corner of the eye. Maybe there was a big horse fly or something. They're flying through the air. They seen it out of their corner vision. That's the only natural explanation I have for it. Because horse flies and some flies can get to be pretty big size. Maybe they seen something fly past them. But that's the only natural explanation, I can come up with for what, they're seeing there. As far as the black things go, but Amy's saying it made me very sad for whomever or whatever was so sad. So she's getting a sad feeling at the location. Some people pick that up too. They pick up, emotions of these ghosts and spirits. Some people are like almost like empaths, or they feel the emotion of the people who have passed away and their thoughts and feelings. And I don't know. I'm kind of a believer in that. I think you can pick up on people's feelings. I think, it's like almost like waves that we send out that we aren't aware of, that you can mentally pick up on, we're the antenna for other people's, waves that are going out. But as far as like the black stuff they're seeing at the effing brewery, I don't know. We're going to have to do a second investigation. We didn't encounter anything like that there. Not saying it's not there at all. But we're going to try to do a secondary and do it live and see what we can come up with. And we're also going to try to interview a lot of the girls that work there that's seeing this stuff, like Amy and different people that's had reports of paranormal activity in there. We want to try to get as many past workers and current workers to interview them and find out what's going on in there. So Luke said he's heard that too, about people getting sad there. I think it used to be a funeral home forever ago. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, he may have touched on that. Actually, I think at one time he said they brought bodies into there. It was used as a makeshift morgue during I think he said, I may be wrong on this, a blizzard or something. They brought some bodies into there when they couldn't store them somewhere else. But yeah, there has been bodies stored there in the basement, he said, but I don't know what the conditions were regarding that. I don't want to say it and be wrong, but there have been bodies stored there, I know. But we're definitely going to check that out and go live and let you guys know when that's going to be. So check in with our show, check in on our page. We have got one awesome place, and I really don't even want to announce it yet, but we've got another cool location in Lawrenceville, Illinois that we're going to be investigating that all of you have said we should investigate. Think we may have finally got a good contact that's going to be getting us in there. I don't want to burst my own bubble here real quick because, like, I think last time we did this, we thought we were going to get in, but hopefully we are. But yeah, we've got another location in the Lawrenceville or Lawrence County area that is extremely, extremely haunted, guys, that we're going to be investigating hopefully this month. If I can get it arranged, I'm going to make the phone calls tomorrow to try to get that figured out, and you will know by our next talk show, or you'll know soon. But it is another big, huge building in Lawrenceville. And we've already done the Masonic Lodge in Lawrenceville, just to give you some hints. We've already done the Elks Lodge in Lawrenceville. We've done Pine Lawn in Lawrenceville. So that only leaves a couple other places there, if you guys know Lawrence County and Lawrenceville. So, and it's a big place. So just to give you a heads up, we are probably getting in there, and we're going to announce when that will be. We've also got another location in Robinson we're going to be investigating, which we're going to be going live. Some places in Greenup we're going to be going live from. But unfortunately, I mean, our events, I don't want to say unfortunately, our events are on the weekends. So, our weekends for October are completely booked with our events. So we're going to have to go through the week. So look for this. Tiffany, you might be right. You might win a prize there, Tiffany McCullough. Trying to read the comments here. Yep. Yeah, a couple of you are definitely right on what I'm talking about. But we're gonna get with you guys and tell you when all these things are going to take place. And I want to thank everybody for watching. We're going to kind of end it a little short here tonight. Still reading your comments. Says there's a local man, Amy says, who knows everything about the building. Eric can tell you exactly who I'm talking about. He said it was also a barbershop. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe we can get him in there, Amy, and interview him also. So, oh yeah, we've investigated the Lawrenceville High School too, Dan. We just got the question, have we ever investigated the Lawrenceville High School? Yes, we have. We've investigated it like 3 times. One of them was while the kids were still in session. That while they were still having school there, they called us in and they didn't want to disturb the kids. So we had to keep it on the down low and not tell anybody we were there. The principal didn't want it out and didn't want, the kids to get scared knowing we were investigating the location. But yeah, we've investigated the Lawrenceville High School. It is not that, but a couple of you have already, hit it right on the head there about where it's at. But it's not the Lawrenceville High School. We've already investigated that too. There's a lot of places in Lawrenceville that's haunted. That's pretty cool. The old high school, which we investigated, the Elks Lodge, the Masonic Lodge, the Sumner, Pine Lawn, this other location, and reading your comments. But I worked at 2 nursing homes, and both had paranormal activity. Yeah, a lot of nursing homes have paranormal activity. We've noticed. I mean, just a lot of stuff happens there. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to call it a night. I want to thank everybody for watching. We just want to kind of update you on what we've been doing, our events, and thank everybody for the events, for attending the events that you guys have. We appreciate it. We enjoyed meeting a lot of you, that we wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to meet by, you coming in on our events and attending, these haunted tours, these events that we have, on the weekends. Again, everything's sold out except for the 30th of October. We have a few tickets left for Pine Lawn in Sumner, Illinois on the 30th of October. And we're probably going to be opening up maybe a weekend in November. Maybe. We'll see what's going to happen with that. We may be doing investigations all November because we got a lot of places to hit. But thank you guys for watching. And again, if you guys didn't see the beginning of this show, I wanted to tell you guys that tonight's show, I'm going to pop a picture up here. This is a really cool pic right here, guys. Tonight's show is in memory of James Caffin Jr., 8/21/1973 to 11/23/2018. He attended our haunted scavenger hunt, him and his family. And again, they came on our 2020 haunted scavenger hunt and brought his ashes with them on the scavenger hunt. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And tonight's show is dedicated to James Caffin Jr., also known as JD Caffin. So thank you guys. Everyone have a good evening out there, and we'll see you on the next one.